Hello, my friends, and welcome to episode 91 of Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company's podcast series. Today, we are going to talk about taking action today. Not waiting for tomorrow or Monday or the perfect time or the perfect scenario, because then things get in the way, and that's excuses. And it's very fitting right now because I just completed the Getting Started challenge, and it's still available to catch for another day or two in January because the posts are going to be up for this week. So if you catch this live, if you're catching this around January, today's the 17th, 2022. So I would say by the end of the week, which is the 21st, reach out to me if you're interested to learn more about that. But completing the Getting Started challenge has been amazing because although we're just getting started with the challenge, but doing the 3-day workshop, it's been completely amazing because it resets your thinking. And that's what today's episode is going to be all about. We're going to go over why taking action is so much better than waiting. We're also going to talk about different strategies to take that action into the next step. And before we go too far, I also want to let you know that we do have a special guest speaker on the next episode. And I'm not going to tell you too much more, but we're going to be doing a heart-to-heart. And those ones I like to do the video at the same time, so you'll be able to see us on YouTube as well, and we'll probably stream into our Facebook group. But the point is, heart-to-hearts are amazing because I'm bringing in other guest speakers, and you get to learn from other people who I align with that are going to help you. But why it's important for me to bring this up now is because she's all about processes and systems, which we all don't typically apply to our personal life. So, you ready? Get your coffee, your tea, your water, get comfortable, or you know what, continue doing what you're doing. But I always like to say, have your pen and paper handy. You never know when inspiration is going to strike. And remember, when you're doing any kind of mindset work, any kind of work that's helping you make positive changes and shifts in your life, sometimes there's going to be questions or points that come up that make you think differently. And that, my friends, is the intention. You want to be thinking differently. You want to be trying new strategies because with that effort comes different results. Otherwise, you're just repeating exactly what you've been doing over and over again. Okay, so now that we've said that, let's hop into this episode. Now, I will be including a link where you can get a blog copy of this episode, so like a written story. And also today's YouTube video, the links will be at the very end of the show, like in the show notes is where you can get the links. Just click on the links. You'll be able to access both the newsletter and the YouTube video that goes with today's show. Perfect. And it's only a couple minutes. I do YouTube videos every day, less than 5 minutes typically. Just a way of sharing a little bit of information. So Monday to Fridays, you can normally catch those, or there's a whole year and a bit of them on YouTube now. And it's cool because you can just play them and see what inspiration strikes. Because y'all know by now, as a weight loss life coach, I really help my clients release the unwanted weight of debt, stress, and pounds. I help you think differently when it comes to your journey. And it's all about, at the end of the day, it's all about achieving time freedom. So doing more with your time. Balanced energy, so keeping your health on the positive. I don't really care about your shape and size, but I want to know that you're in good health. So listening to these podcasts will help you make different shifts in your life so you are in optimum health. Whether for you that's positive mindset, whether for you that's starting to do affirmations or gratitude, whether it's losing weight or shaping your body or moving more. Optimum health to you is going to be different, but it means you're not worried about any fundamental health concerns. And elevated finances, we all want a little bit more, right? We all want our resources to maximize. And yeah, that's exactly what you're going to get from these shows. So if you're new, thank you. If you've been continuing to be a guest and listening to these shows, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the best way you can support me is to like, share, and comment. Oh, and don't forget to follow these podcasts, because that's going to help me attract more people. With every comment I get, more people are going to be able to see the show, and I'll be able to serve and contribute more to other people. All right, let's jump in. So there's never a better time than the present to take action. Often, way too often, we wait for the perfect time to start a wellness journey, to save money, to maybe have a child, to start a new career, to build your business, or to even have more time freedom. Time is constantly passing, and there is no time to wait. Because before you know it, the thought is going to escape you, 100%. There's never going to be a perfect time, ever. And if you're a mom listening to this, you know what I mean. There was never a perfect time to have your kids. There is never a perfect time to start that perfect job. There is no perfect time. You make it the best time. You don't need to wait for Monday, or the first of the month, or the first of the year, or your birthday, or in some cases, September. A lot of people wait till September and restart the way we've done with our school. But instead of waiting for that perfect time, my suggestion for you is to get started today and make the absolute most of the present moment. You're going to chime in if you catch the YouTube video that here in Ontario, where I live, we had lots of snow last night, and I'm in southwestern Ontario, so we don't get as much snow as where I've had in the past. But I had to go and shovel the driveway this morning before I took my son to school. Schools are closed, or buses are not running, so that's kind of gives you an idea what the environment's like. It's literally a snow day. However, schools are still open, and he is such a smart, ambitious young man that he wants to go to school. So, yeah, I could moan and groan and complain, but I got out there, got bundled up, embraced the beauty of it, and shoveled the snow. Got the car ready, took him to school. Started today. If you think of it, my workout was just completed by shoveling the driveway. So, as you're listening to this, I want you to think differently. Yeah, I could maybe push it off till this afternoon, or wait for Tony to come home, or whatever it might look like. But why wait when I could do it right now? My exercise is done. Yeah, and that's thinking differently, right? Who would think of cleaning the house or shoveling the driveway or little tasks like that as exercise, but it works. You're lifting, you're moving, you're outside. All of that. Combination of some amazing moves. Okay. So, there is never, ever, ever waiting for the perfect time. So let's take an opportunity to embrace the present moment to reach our goals. The thing is, there's always a way. You can't control time, but you can control how you use it. Or you can work on this. This is an area where I practice. I know this is an area of weakness for me. I get distracted so easily. Time escapes me, but I'm well aware of this. Once you're aware, you become acceptant. So awareness, it begins with awareness, moves to acceptance, and then you can make changes. Okay, but you can't do anything until you're aware. So I know that for me personally, rather than waiting, I can use my determination and my creativity to find a way to make the present day work for me. Just like I shared with you earlier about the shoveling snow situation. I took the opportunity and I figured out how to bring it to fruition. You can always, always, always find a way. Progress is often slow, so get started as soon as possible. It can take a while to build momentum, so it only makes sense to begin building it immediately. Success can take time. How much time do you have? We don't have an infinite amount of time like we think we do. We really don't know how much time we have. But one thing for certain is the sooner you get started, the sooner you'll feel successful. And that feels good. You're going to learn more. The sooner you start doing something, the sooner your education begins. You learn nothing from waiting, except for how good of a procrastinator you are. True. The more you know, the easier it is to be successful and to enjoy your life. I love learning. I never thought I would say this. I love learning. The scholastic educational system wasn't for me in that traditional sense, but I love learning the way I like to learn. Audio, video, self-teaching, and then I get credentials that way. I just really love filling my brain with more and more knowledge that I get to share in different platforms, in different ways. And sometimes it just escapes me without even realizing it. The next point, ignore the excuses. You can always invent an excuse to justify postponing an action. Always. Maybe you like one task more than another. Maybe you got distracted with time. Whatever it might be. Most people, me included, do this on a regular basis. Do you want the same results as the average person? A year from now, you're still going to have plenty of excuses, but do you want to be closer to your goal or not? So forget the excuses and take action. Very small action is a good place to start. Take action. And you know what? You're going to be pleased with yourself for taking action. Imagine you're old and at the end of your life, and I talk about this when I do some of my other, especially my one-on-one coaching, I talk about this analogy where, there is an end of life. What's the one thing you think you're going to regret that you did or didn't do? What opportunities did you fail to act on? What slipped by in the passing of time? You're going to how's that for language? Haven't had coffee yet. You're going to regret your inaction much more than the actions you took. And nobody wants to die with a life full of regrets at all. We've heard this. The biggest thing on somebody's deathbed is what they regret. Now, I like to follow that up with is, what do you want people to say at your eulogy? What legacy are you leaving behind? This is why I do what I do. I want people to live their best lives so they can be in a really, really good place when the time comes. And I'm not saying this is a morbid reason. It's not. It's really about enjoying the journey. But when you're not ready to think like that, at least I can help you think of the big picture. Because when you're stuck, you're stuck. I'm here to help pull you out of that position. So taking action right now is far better than waiting for the perfect moment in the future. Because that time is never going to come. How often do you do that? How often do you procrastinate, put it off, wait until, I'm going to finish this project and then that project? We're all victims of being succumbed by excuses. For one thing, different priorities in our life. But once we start taking action and it becomes a habit and then it becomes consistent action, you will see the results in so many different areas of your life. Taking advantage of today and begin making progress will help you build momentum. And the biggest fear for most people, especially when it comes to weight loss, is that dreaded scale. I challenge you to hop on that scale, get your numbers, get your measurements, and start today. It just so happens today is Monday, so 2 excuses are off the table. So the rest is up to you. A good way to get started is to see where you fall on the emotional scale and to do the wellness quiz. And I have the wellness quiz included, and I can give you some information on the wellness scale or the emotional scale, or you can go ahead and just Google Law of Attraction emotional scale. See what comes up. It's a slurry, and this is included in the blog if you want a copy of it. It's a slurry of feelings. Everything from love, joy, passion, freedom, excitement, all the way down to despair, disempowerment, grief, depression, hopelessness. And it's got every space and every range in the gamut between A to Z. And I will definitely send this out to you. It's in the blog. I really encourage you to take a look at it. But take a look at that and then pop in and do the wellness quiz, the energy and emotional wellness quiz. Now, there's other quizzes I'm going to include on my link tree. There's 3 of them that are absolutely free, no cost to you at all. I will put together a free complimentary report for you with 3 different suggestions. But there's also one that says, there's also a quiz in there about 22 questions, and it's a great way for you to self-assess. That is a small investment. It's under $5. It's a way for you to get started and to invest in yourself and to start today. Take the free one, take the 22 questions one, and start today. Okay. So let's talk about, we just to highlight the 5 different steps we went over, because I jumped right into it. There's always a way. Progress is often slow, so get started as soon as possible. You'll learn more. Ignore the excuses, and you'll be pleased with yourself when you take action right away. Now let's help you get there. To begin to take action, I have some strategies for you. 4 quick, simple, little strategies. And these strategies are going to certainly help you put one foot in front of the other. And I know there's different episodes I've done, so you're going to get different pieces of information at different times in your life. Call it layered learning. And that's where you're going to get the best results. So create a plan that you can begin executing immediately. Your plan should include actions that'll take you through today or tomorrow. That's it. So it's like a habit tracker, but it's not quite that detailed. Okay. It's a matter of just writing down some simple action plans, action items that you can identify for your goal. So if your goal is to lose, if your goal is to lose weight, maybe your plan is to hop on the scale. Plan 1. Maybe your next plan is to download a fitness app like MyFitnessPal, where you can put your information in there and start tracking your data. And maybe your third step is to promise yourself, and this is where your habit tracker will come in, that you will start to track your food for the week before you take any other action so you know where you're starting at. You're not making any other adjustments, okay? If your plan is to save money, maybe your first plan of action is to do your budget or write down all of your debt. Write down all of your credit card bills. Start there. Just name of the bill, how much you owe, and interest rate. Gather that data, okay? Second step could be create a budget. How much are you bringing in? How much are you taking out? Break it down. Third step, promise yourself that you will look at your bank account maybe once a week, maybe every other day, see where you're at. It depends how much you're spending and where you're at and what your goals are. So you are now being the CEO of your life, because every CEO knows where her money goes, or his money, whichever. But the point is, you're in charge of your money, you're in charge of your life. So come up with an action plan to get started today. Stop with the excuses. Consider the likely obstacles. What roadblocks are you likely going to run into? What can you do to prepare for them? Do you have any solutions? And what resources do you have available to you? Haha, this is where you start the quiz, right? Free information. It'll help you get started, help you think differently. As I mentioned, you'll get 3 complimentary suggestions to help you get started on your journey towards health and happiness, no matter what those goals are. Plus, you get a free consult with me with every single time, because that's how I deliver the information for you. So you've got to book that discovery call as well. Create a reward system. This is paramount. For every new action that you take, there needs to be a corresponding reward. So I know there's going to be some resistance in getting started. There always is. It's always hard to start something new. And then we make it so much harder on ourselves. So now that you're getting yourself started, encourage yourself to take action by promising yourself a small reward after accomplishing all 3 of those tasks. For instance, maybe you're going to get a new coffee cup. Maybe you're going to go spoil yourself at Tim Hortons or Starbucks and get yourself a nice latte instead of your regular tea or coffee. I don't care what it is. Find a reward that's going to keep you on track. Maybe you're going to buy yourself a nice diary or notebook to make these changes in. And every time you look at that, you know you've earned it. The reward system is key. And I do talk about this a little bit more in depth. Actually, I don't have a separate podcast for this, I don't think, episode, but that would be a good one to do. And I know I talked about this during my Getting Started challenge, but I don't have a separate episode on it. So I might break that down and do that separately, or we can talk about what questions you have on that. Just message me and I'll go over them with you. Next, be persistent. Make a habit of taking small action each and every single day. Even if you just get into the habit of checking your bank account. I don't want you on the scale every day, but tracking your food every day. Okay? Because small actions might seem like they're accomplishing little, but the effect is accumulative. So just keep going. It's consistency that'll get you wherever you want to be in this world. Life can only be lived in the present. Waiting for some unspecified magical time in the future is a complete waste of your time. You can get started right here, right now, and there's no time like the present to help you begin your journey of living fully a happier, me and my language this morning, happier and healthier life. At least you know I'm real. You know what? That's the bonus. You know I'm real. Let me say that again. You can get started right here, right now. There is absolutely no time like the present to begin living your life fully. So what is it that you are waiting for? Because by this time next year, you could either change your life significantly or still be exactly where you are right now. Take control of your life starting today. You are going to be so glad you did. And before I finish this particular episode, I want to ask you one question that I would love you to journal about and think about and let it sit with you all day. What happens if you don't take action? You tell me. Love to hear from you, my friends. This episode's a little bit short and sweet. It's perfect, though. We got to the point. I got to share some stories, and I love getting the opportunity to do these and sharing this space with you. Thank you so much for being here today, and I look forward to hearing from you. Make it a fantastic, motivational Monday, my friends.